Time for another quality episode of Do Not Relent. Let's see what these silly boys are up to this week. Oh, here we go.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight out of the Scarlet Halls and entering your hive. Get it? Because there's bees now. We got bees. It's Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horrid Punching Bag.
Fuck the bullshit. We're putting a spoiler warning right here, right at the very beginning. If you don't want to be spoiled on anything 8.2.5 or mostly the story, I guess, leave. Go on, get.
This entirety of this episode will be spoilers then.
Just go and do it for yourself. It's not even like, oh gosh golly, it's 4 quests. You can do 4 quests and watch 10 minutes of cutscenes. I believe in you, listener.
That's assuming that they're caught up completely on the war campaign. Remember, a lot of folks, especially
if you're not
in
caught
our
up
guild,
completely on the war campaign, what have you been doing? It's been months.
This is fair. Like, it has been many months since our last big update in the war campaign, but yeah, here we are. Spoilers. War's over. Go home.
Pack up your bags, girls. War's over.
Turn
You
off
can get
war
your
mode.
nails did again.
Turn it off. No more war mode. It's out of here. We're making peace. We're making out. We're tonguing each other's buttholes.
So with this patch, 8.3, we finally got the end of the Battle for Azeroth war campaign. Ooh.
Yeah, it's there, and it's something. And I'm not sure how I feel about everything yet. I mean, I think I know how I feel, but I don't know.
In what capacity?
Overall, the pacing felt a little weird to me because I feel like the war campaign was kind of like drawn out over the course of the entire expansion so far, but then in the course of just this installment, it's like we're gonna fast forward like through it all, and now it's over.
I think this may be artsy-fartsy of me. I think that its accelerated pace at the end sort of serves its purpose as being like just as confusing to us as it is to the characters, because the entire time you're fighting a war, you're ready for a huge war, and then Sourfang realizes that like we've done this. We did the Siege of Orgrimmar. That didn't fix anything. We're doing things wrong. So he goes and he does that hot Mat Gara, and I think we as the audience are supposed to feel just as like shocked as the characters are. That's my take on it, at least.
Yeah, because leading up to that, you do all those quests where you're preparing, you're building up all the forces around Orgrimmar itself, and literally you're supposed to feel like it's a little off, I think, and it's like Siege Part 2, or at least that's how I felt.
I just felt like they just really transported it into the peace mindset, like, really quickly. And, like, yeah, things were, like, winding down, like, before Zhara, but, like, we had just burned down their new allied race's city, like, to the ground after we killed their leader. And now they're like, oh, we wanted to make peace this whole time. We wanted to make peace before Zhara, but then Sylvanas made us fight in Najatar. And I'm like, is that that's what happened? That was her plan? To make you guys keep fighting?
Although the Zandalari were not one of the ones that were with us, with the Alliance, in the push, so maybe the Zandalari are still pissed. I don't know if I don't know what the Horde's doing, but I don't know what Talanji's opinion of all this is.
Yeah, like, they've got to feel really not taken care of. Like, you guys could not help us defend our city, and now you want to work with them, like, immediately afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Horde in general must feel pretty fractured right now because you have Sylvanas and her loyalists, which are like in Orgrimmar, and then you have, the kind of rebellion, I guess we will say, within the Horde that is teaming up with Alliance that's outside set to attack it, and that's like, you have like your Sourfang, your Bane, and your Thrall.
I really liked the cinematic. Like, I think it was cool. I just felt like we didn't have enough time, which, I mean, isn't even all that true. We did have a lot has happened. Like, they burned the tree down. We had a whole raid around us fighting each other. Like, there's been a lot of stuff that has gone on, but I guess maybe I just wanted a little more in the middle. Because we still have 8.3, so they're just wrapping it all up so we can fight this all together as a unit. And I was hoping that we wouldn't do that for once, where we would still be like kind of enemies and still fight the main bad guy instead of just doing the classic, hey, this is greater than us. Let's fight together for the 800th time and probably fight for the last time.
I guess if any enemy to do that with, though, an old god would be the one. N'Zoth, with all of his hype up, would be real lame if he was the only old god that just one of the factions could kill.
That's true. It just feels, I don't know. I guess I wanted to put a bigger twist on it than just the same old. Let's be friends. And also, I have one of the things I have a problem with that I've mentioned quite a bit so far to you two outside of the podcast, because we do talk outside of the podcast about things occasionally.
That is a lie. This is the only hour and some change I talk to these two. I hate them. We've gotten to that point in our fame.
Can you imagine? You're my mortal enemy. But so the Alliance, Anduin's like, hey, listen, Saurfang, I can only give you so many soldiers, and if this fails, we are doomed. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, if you just take all of your soldiers and combine them with the units that Bane and Saurfang and I guess Thrall has,
and Lorthamar
and Mila, it's like,
Some of them don't really have units. Does Thrall really have people currently?
I think
Thrall is just Thrall. But still, he's Thrall.
Yeah, Thrall,
he's good to take down like a bunch of them.
Thrall's worth like 200 men by himself. And like, so then all of these people, all these faction leaders and all of these from both sides approach the gates of Orgrimmar to like siege it again. And they're like, oh, this is going to be a hard battle. And I'm like, is it? How many loyalists can she really have if like every other faction leader of the Horde is standing outside of the gates? Like, I feel like they would really only flip on her if they had the support of their people, right? Right? Is that crazy?
My thought behind that is, so she has her magic trick where she brings people back to life as various Forsaken, just non-playable ones. I think we're supposed to think that she's been doing that a lot while she's not been in Zandalar.
Yeah, we haven't really seen what she's been doing, so I guess we can assume that maybe she's just been raising another army. Is that what we're supposed to conclude?
I guess.
Like, inside Orgrimmar is like infinity zombies.
That's the only thing I could see, because if you just take the numbers and do some Steiner math, you have the Alliance plus, I don't know, half the Horde, maybe a little less than half the Horde, but it's still way more than, So yeah, maybe it is just zombies inside the gates that we're supposed to be worried about.
Now, would you consider Saurfang or Anduin Shmojo?
I think definitely Shmojo is going to be Saurfang, because he's the big bad booty daddy, and he's got some roughage ready to go. I think Anduin's more like a...
It was interesting when Thrall announced him as such at his funeral.
Well, okay, listen...
Storm of the Horde, big bad booty daddy.
Okay, well, counterpoint here. I think out of all of those main boys, is Thrall the only one that is a male wearer?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so...
Technically, yes.
Steiner is very famous for wearing his chainmail, so I think that makes Thrall Steiner.
I was thinking that he was Kurt Angle, because when you add Kurt Angle to the mix, then you get X example X.
Fair enough.
Now, was Saurfang's plan to Makara Sylvanas a good plan or a bad plan?
I think overall it was a good plan, and I think his intentions may have been to just expose how bad Sylvanas was to get everyone to 100% turn against her.
He's been riding that let me catch an axe and go see my son train since late Wrath, since his son slipped on a big frozen banana peel. So I feel like he's not upset by the outcome. And he's like, well, I want to die anyways. I want to slip on a peel. Might as well do it while making her look bad.
I thought that she was gonna just completely garbage can him immediately. I thought she was gonna murder him
No,
within
no, same. When
seconds.
she got like 4 slashes on him, I'm like, oh no, bud.
Well, and then she stepped out of frame, and I'm like, she's gonna fucking cut his head off, isn't she? I'm like, oh my god, his head's gonna be cut off immediately. But she was just standing there, just like, huh, I guess I shouldn't fight during this monologue. Like, bitch, that's your chance to kill him.
I mean, she's just trying to check all the boxes of being a cartoony villain, I think.
Can we talk about the fact that she fart clouded around during the Mak'gara? I thought the whole thing was you're supposed to just use your muscles.
No, exactly. Like, she won it by pulling out that, like, void mystery magic, death magic. I don't know. And then when she did that, I turned to the side and I'm like, Sylvanas cheats.
But even before that, I'm pretty sure she dodged an X slip by doing her Banshee teleport thing. And I'm like, bad show, Sylvanas.
I actually think that there aren't any rules on using your own God-given powers. Because I know that Thrall was like, oh, I used the elements, I cheated. But someone was like, Thrall, the rulebook doesn't say anything about not using your abilities. And he's like, huh? So I think it's like kind of a morally gray area.
It just seems like overall the Mak'gara is a little dated.
Yeah, let's replace the Mak'gara with, I don't know, elections? Something more civilized, Horde?
Literally anything.
Hashtag abolish the Mak'gara.
It only worked in a system where everyone was the same stupid orc guy. As soon as we got, like, teleportation magic, people bigger than you, anyone who can do a flip, it's like, oh, something's wrong with our system.
Be the change you want to be, Horde. Hashtag abolish the Mak'gara.
Okay, so
Now,
also...
what do you think is going to happen to all of the zombies that live in Orgrimmar now that their queen is gone?
I mean,
like,
are
we
there
throwing them out in the
are
streets?
there even zombies there? We haven't got to see
No.
inside.
There were, like...
on the wall,
yeah,
it was
you
like
could,
primarily Forsaken.
you could see, like, them lining the entire walls of Orgrimmar, so, like, there are at least, like, a handful of maybe, like, 15 of them in there.
That's just undead. Oh, when I said zombies, I thought you meant like the mindless ones that she resurrected. Not like actual undead.
All Forsaken are mindless.
Oof. Oof.
I don't hate the Horde as a day job. I hate them deep in my soul.
Yeah, especially as a Worgen, you especially hate the undead. And for some reason the Night Elves, but maybe that's a personal thing. Anyways, to wrap up the talk about this particular cinematic, I thought it was really... Like, I gasped when, like, she technically won the Mak'gara, and then she just turned and said, basically, fuck the Horde.
Oh my god, before that, when that fucking undead turned his little head, when she said, like, fuck you, basically. Like, fuck
No,
y'all.
she said...
She said the Horde is nothing, and then only, like, her steward heard her, and she was like, are you for real? Like, please say psych.
Yeah, it's like, Slide turned to me and was like, wow, she's cutting like a pro wrestling heel Baron Corbin promo here. She basically just turned to everyone and said, you're nothing, and you're nothing. The Horde is nothing.
She pulled out a list and was naming like actual like people. Like, you know what, Sally, I'm sick of your shit. Undead are terrible. It's like,
Or a Fang Bloodhammer who works at the auction house. And then
Nothing.
I'm kind of like shy away. I hate you.
And then she's just like, okay, well, enough of this. I'm done naming this long list of people that I hate and are worthless. And then she just like turns into a fart cloud and yeets herself into 9.0.
now there is the theory that, I mean, I know you've heard and that you're not a fan of, but the theory that Sylvanas did all of this, and this is still like theater to get the Horde and Alliance to work together to fight the bigger evil. Because think about it, Sylvanas literally walked out of the gates of Orgrimmar, Mak'gara Sarfang, and then's like, well, I guess I'm just going to Team Rocket away. Like, she could have easily walked back in those gates and not said any of those mean things to her people. Do you think it was a intentional setup? Did she say all these things to unite the Horde and Alliance on purpose?
I personally think that her ultimate goal is to just have as many beings on Azeroth killed as possible. And her original plan was to have the war between the Horde and the Alliance last a little bit longer, more casualties, and maybe have them eventually face N'Zoth and have more death. But when she realized that the Horde and the Alliance were already becoming more friendly, she decided to just be like, okay, I'm skipping to the next part of my plan altogether and run away.
What I don't understand, which I also support that theory, I think the whole outburst of the Horde ain't shit. I feel like that's very in character of she claims to be this cool cucumber character, but let's not forget that the entirety of Teldrassil is burnt down because one woman pitied her.
Oh
Her
man.
whole thing is don't think I'm not cool. And she is shown to do wild and crazy things when people think she's not cool.
That's true. I mean,
Also, side tangent. So she is hanging out with Ashara and Azoth and stuff like that. What was the point of dropping the boats into the ocean? Because all it did was let us attack Ashara. I feel like if we had...
So the point of that was because we were using all of the Azeroth that we had been harvesting all expansion in order to free N'Zoth. I think it was a trap and we fell into it, and we, by kind of defeating Ashara temporarily, were the ones to free N'Zoth. And I think it played into all of their plan together. I don't know how deep into this plan Sylvanas is, if she is also in, if the three of them are ha ha ha, we'll lure them all in there and then we'll have this little show and then N'Zoth will be free.
Yeah, because it seemed at first that she did this just to prolong the fight. If I sink all these ships down there for the Horde and Alliance leaders, not even the leaders, the sub-leaders, I guess, then they're going to be fighting down there, and it further feeds into Azar's plan. Yeah, and so, which we also haven't even gotten to that part, about how Sylvanas is confirmed working with Azara.
So that is officially confirmed, because after she eats herself up in a fart cloud, the members of the Horde that were loyalists to her get their own in-game cinematic, where one of the Dark Rangers gives them a temporary Hearthstone to meet her over in the Eastern Kingdoms at the... What's it called? It's called the Windrunner Spire or something like that.
Yeah, she went home. She went home.
It's in the Dead Scar, right? The old elven cities.
It's somewhere over there.
Yeah, so then you just have this in-game cinematic between the player character and Sylvanas, where she's telling you her plans for the future, and it basically confirms that she had been working with both N'Zoth and Azara, and that she foresees the Horde and the Alliance teaming up to take on N'Zoth. She predicts that they will defeat N'Zoth, but then everyone will die when they face death with a capital D.
Now, I would say it's only confirmed she's working with Azara. What if this is a side deal? What if Azara didn't tell N'Zoth any of this? Because Sylvanas did say that I'm working with Azara, the deal is in plan, and her master will kill everybody and leave dead in the streets. But then she said he will also face death. So it seems kind of like these two bad bitches made a pact, and it ends with her killing N'Zoth in the end of it.
Bad bitches only.
What if Azara snipes her?
Girls run the world!
I mean, it's on brand with Azara to do that. Azara's never really liked N'Zoth and has only been using him.
Yeah, she only became his pal because he was like, you can do this or drown. It's not like they're actually friends.
There's so many big players moving around this board. It's terrifying because you can't forget Sylvanas. What's the difference? Sylvanas made an agreement with Helia, so she has a deal with Helia too that she has to fulfill still. Helia would not give her that lantern for free, right? That was part of the agreement, wasn't it? In Helheim, when Gen broke that lantern.
I'm just trying to tally up how many Final 2 deals has Sylvanas made so far. She has one with Helia, I think was the first one. She has one with Azara, and maybe one with N'Zoth, and who knows who else. Capital D Death, whoever that is. Also...
You can't forget her showmance, Nathanos.
Oh, well, yeah, she's just stringing him along for the, HOH wins. But...
Yeah, for the views.
She just wants Instagram followers at the end, that's well. But I assume she also made some kind of deal with Beyblade, right?
I don't think so. I mean, it's possible. I guess we don't know anything about that, but I guess it is entirely possible to make a deal with that bitch.
Yeah. Or did Beyblade just make a deal with N'Zoth? I don't exactly remember, but
I mean,
that's like not related to this 100%.
as far as we know, Beyblade Naifu Xalatath only has a deal with N'Zoth. But, I mean, she's so crafty that I could see her easily making a deal with Ajara, you know? I mean, Ajara was holding her for how long? Like, a couple of weeks?
Sylvanas or Ajara?
God, I keep confusing the two. Sylvanas was holding her for a couple of weeks.
What's the difference? Waka waka.
So, are there any other cinematics that we missed?
Oh, hang on. We need to talk about our boy. We know exactly what everyone's favorite leader was doing during all of this.
Ugh. Okay, so before I even had a chance to play the war campaign, Slide messaged our group and said something about how I would be excited to see our favorite character in all of Warcraft back in the mix mentioned again. And I was like sitting there at work trying to calculate like who's our favorite character, and like all these characters running through my mind, and of course, he was being sarcastic, and he meant none other than fucking G Firepaw.
G Firepaw.
G got the hot mention.
Hey, you know, he won up Isa. Isa has had, 0 mentions in this war campaign, I'm pretty sure. So, shout out to G.
She's actually existed, though. So, actually, I don't know if G doesn't live over there. I just assume he doesn't do anything anymore after he got his shit pushed in.
I wasn't expecting it, because, so you go around Orgrimmar, which is also really fucking weird that we were in Orgrimmar, and you're just like, hey, Horde Alliance leaders, what's up? You guys are talking together, hanging out, BFFs, whatever, and you find poor little Mela High Mountain, is that her name? Mela Highhoof? Whatever.
Yeah, High Mountain or High Totem. Yeah.
And she's just hanging out by herself, and I'm like, oh, where's her other leader to talk to? And she's just like, yeah, G fucked off. Or she said that G was in Thunderbluff healing Bane's wounds, and then she said he said, I've seen this before, and I do not plan on reliving it again. And I'm like, bitch, I bet, like, if you got your ass crunched
you
last
got
time,
body rocked.
you're gonna.
Everyone saw
He
it.
fucking ran his ass out of there. Which furthers the question: why are Horde pandas in the Horde? They don't even stand with any of their war chiefs. They're afraid of being beaten.
Stockholm Syndrome, that's all I can think of.
That's true. The war chiefdom, since they've joined on, has been a revolving door. You can only go, like, a couple months, and then there's a new one.
And then they get smacked around again. Poor boy.
Shout out to Mela High Totem for pretending like she's, like, against Sylvanas, when the last time we saw her was the cutscene where she sold, or at least helped sell out Bane. Like, how are you about to take out one of your own boys?
She's trying to save face. Doesn't have a spine.
She knows she ain't nothing. My girl Growlina got a brand new face this week, and with it, a brand new set of lips to ask people questions. Here's one of those questions.
Hey everybody, it's your best girl, Growlina, live at Brewfest. I'm here with just the best guy ever, Isaac. Tell him how we met.
Well, you ran up to me shouting that you needed to talk to someone, and I figured I had nothing to do.
Let me tell you about this guy. This guy ate like a zillion sausages. He beat me like 3 times. How are you so good?
Well, I know the rhythm pretty well, and I usually just...
We should do some shots.
Oh, I don't know if any of them sell, like, shots.
There's like 20 of them. I'm sure the goblins got one. Or the big panda lady.
I'm gonna go. It's been neat talking to you.
You too, man. You're like my best friends ever. Liz is gone. Whatever. That guy was lame anyways. The only pal I need is a bottle of Thunder Brew and 35 coins in my pocket. Bottoms up, DNRB.
Ooh, girl, I know you were saying words, but I just kept looking at those luxurious new pixels.
Plump AF.
Ooh. So tell us, Aaron, what do you think about this new Worgen update now that it's gone live?
Is it making your booty howl? Ow!
Ooh, girl, my face looks so much better. The eye gate 2K19, they are orange. They don't super glow, but I'll take orange eyes.
Yeah, it goes right with your fire spec, so.
Yeah. The hair has physics now, which I absolutely love. I make sure to have that big ponytail so that thing wiggles. They updated a bunch of animations. Some of them are better than others, in my opinion. But I might just be biased towards some of the old ones. But ultimately, it feels really good, and my girl feels like a brand new Worgen.
Wait, now tell us about them casting animations. How you feel?
Ooh, girl! The general ones are a lot better. There's more secondary animation, as far as, like, she'll throw her hands forward, and there will be impact to them.
How about do you miss at all the, like, softball pitch animation?
I was literally just about to say the only thing that I miss was the attack cast animation for female Worgen was she held one hand forward and she was sort of winding it up like a cartoon character before pitching it at the enemy. The new one, it's like she's opening up a jar of pickles. She has one hand above the other and she kind of looks at her hands while spinning. And then when she's ready, she'll Kamehameha the attack out. And because that's the cast for Fireball, which is like 90% of what I do, I don't really like the opening the pickle jar maneuver.
I gotta see
that
this
is
shit.
one where I feel like I would have preferred the softball pitch.
Hot takes.
Or normal takes.
Ooh, hot as Growlito's flames. Also, the run is different. I don't know if it is better or worse. I just know she hunches forward, kind of like she's in middle school now.
Oh no!
It fits. She's super close to like a Naruto Uzumaki.
Ooh.
She has the upper body. If she just threw the arms back, she would be there.
She's gonna rate Area 51 5 days ago. It's in the past now.
Womp womp.
I think we can table a little bit of this work campaign discussion to talk about what we did in WoW, because we got a lot fucking done in WoW. I feel like
it was a big ass week.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking start with what I did in WoW. Fuck y'all.
Whoa! That's not common courtesy. Come on, guy.
I'm passing the baton to me. Oh man, I have been eating the ass out of Brewfest. I feel like that's the second time I've said eating ass this podcast. I need to slow it down with eating ass.
Why stop, baby? That's the best part about eating ass.
I have been living in Brewfest. I have the Hearthstone, which I think is okay. I think I've come to terms with how okay the Brewfest Hearthstone is. If you want a nice image, close your eyes and imagine your model character. You see him? Put a little German hat on. Okay, do you see her, him, they? Now put a little German hat on him, her, they, and put 2 steins and
is it like hands. The Lederhosen hat, or is it like the pretzel hat?
It's the Lederhosen hat, like the little green one with a little feather in it. And then you put 2 little steins in your hands, and then you do your dance, and then you have alcohol foam like underneath your feet, so like you're standing on like a permanent like puddle of beer. And that's your Hearthstone animation. It's pretty okay. It's not the worst one. Not the best one though. It's no Winter Veil, that's for sure. But so other than getting that,
I know for a long time you said it looked like poo poo, like literal like fecal matter.
It looks like sewage water.
And you know what? It did not look like poo poo, but it does look like sewage water.
Yeah, it's got the same like color of hair. I mean, you would know. Is that color sewage water?
I was just about to say I can confirm that that is the color of a lot of sewage water because, like, in my research in grad school, I did maintain a bioreactor that was fed by sewage water.
Okay.
So
This is my what I didn't. Don't brag on my what I did in WoW. Please keep your.
Don't talk about your
Ooh,
graduate
keep that shit
degree.
out of here. What the fuck?
Okay, fine. Do you want to feel better? How much gold do you have?
1.4, bitch. It went up. It's only going up because we keep using the cauldrons during raid night. I ain't gotta buy flasks. I gotta buy pots though. That sucks. Oh.
You ain't gotta buy pots, girl. I can be your pots hooker.
Ooh, hooky hook. What the fuck? Ooh, hook me up. What's hooky hook?
Ooh, hooky up.
Anyway, Aaron, please tell me that you have done the eating challenge in Brewfest.
I have done the eating challenge, and I have won twice. Because when you do the eating challenge, win or lose, you get full, and you can't do it for 3 minutes. And I never feel like staying around to hang out for that 3 minutes. So I'll go and do something, and like 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, I should probably eat again.
Let me come at with y'all with these hot Brewfest tips, because there's actually a bunch of them to win this eating challenge. Your first tip: if you're gonna lose the eating challenge and you know you're gonna lose, just press the eject button, baby. You press the eject button, you hop out of that seat, and guess what? No debuff. And that's why I use that boy to save me 3 minutes, because I ended up losing one and then winning the next 4 in a row. And obviously when you win, you can't eject, because if you eject, you're gonna lose. Also, if you double tap your keys, it will register one use as 2 sometimes. So like, say that like you're eating a sausage and you press the sausage key twice really fast, you actually will take 2 bites of the sausage. Now it'll still fill your bar up to the amount of 2 sausages, but it's a way of like kind of like being able to chow down really fast, like my boy Kobayashi.
Oh!
But yeah.
Talking about Joey Chestnut.
Is that the guy who wears Ultimate Warrior face mask? Because he needs to stop.
I don't know. It's just, he was Kobayashi's main rival. And when Kobayashi's like, I have spent all of my life force, I'm going to go die in a ditch. Joey Chestnut took over as the number 1
they
guy.
banned Kobayashi from competing. He got banned, I think. And now Joey Chestnut just remains king because no one else can eat as much as him. But anyway, fuck them. Who cares about them? Deoxyribos, the mage, my mage, is the eating challenge, right? The eating challenge is the eating champion right now, because your boy got those 5 wins, got that sweet trophy, and you know I'm making everybody drunk because it gives you a toy that's a trophy, and it makes everyone drunk. In case you didn't know what this trophy did. It's amazing. I used it during raid, and someone was like, why am I drunk? Who's doing this? Bitches, it was me.
Secretive drunken bender.
And then I've been getting that honeybee. I've been doing the bee rep. It's very annoying. It involves killing a rare once a day for 500 rep. And there's like jellies on the ground all around Stormsong. You have to find them and give them a click, and you get like a piece of jelly that you can turn in for rep. But they're not highlighted. They don't appear on your map. You just have to turn your clutter on your video settings down to 1 and try to find these little yellow honeycombs in the ground. And that's basically the rep grind. It's something else, let me tell you.
Yeah, and you need Exalted in order to get the Bumblebee mount if you're Alliance.
Oh, I'm going to have that shit, though. Well, what about you, Aaron? What'd you do in WoW this week?
I did a whole bunch. I, too, have been all about Brewfest, as it's Growlina's Christmas. It's her time of the year. I just became a part of the Beer of the Month Club, so I forever cursed myself. But I do have that sweet, sweet Brewmaster title now.
Hey!
I made good on my promise to buy all of the birds and bought the final Calteris Griffin. You get nothing from it, and now I'm poor. Not super poor, but I'm down to like 100k.
Hey, you didn't get nothing. You got 3 griffins.
I did, and I made sure to set my thing to only my favorites, which are just those 3 griffins, so I can say that I rode them. Well, that was pretty much it. Just a lot of Brewfest, some griffining, probably a third thing that I forgot, and I'll scream during some part of the show. But that was me this week. Immune, what did you do?
I also did a whole lot, and I also became a brewmaster. I decided that as Slide did last year at Brewfest, I am starting my trek on my own journey to obtain the Violet Proto Jake.
Whoa, it's been a while since you mentioned me, bro. Tubular.
What?
Yeah, so I'm also going to start doing all of the holidays now because it's something that I've neglected to do during my entire WoW career, but I'm starting off with Brewfest, and I am a brewmaster.
You know, you kind of really fucked that up, because if you would have aligned with me, the mage, portals all the time for all the holidays,
This is true.
Now I'm going to actively not help you.
I'm going to actively still ask him to make me some portals. But in addition to becoming a brewmaster, I did all my normal things, emissaries, islands, conquest cap, which I'm adding to my rotation of things that I'm trying to do every week. I did my call to arms to get that. But then also, I cleared a 10 plus, and I did a 12 plus. We almost cleared it. We were literally like a minute too slow to clear it on time. So I'm slowly making my way up there, getting higher keys done. And yeah, that's about all I did. But as a group, something really exciting that also really lines up really well with starting 8.2.5 content is we downed Ajara finally. Not only did we clear her on normal on accident, but also on heroic in one night last week.
And I believe the heroic was not the first. It was not that magical, but the second time after coming back, be like, okay guys, let's just do it again. And then we just did it again.
The best part was we thought that we were on heroic Ajara, and then we realized it was just normal Ajara. So we're like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, because like we made it like we killed the cursed lovers, and we're like, shit, guys, we're crushing it. What happened here? And then somebody's like, guys, are we on normal?
Because those cursed lovers melted into a puddle. I was like, holy shit, guys. This second minor power for my Heart of Azeroth is ridiculous. We're killing it. Oh, it's on normal. Never mind.
But it gave us that confidence boost we needed, and then we were able to, like, on our second or third kill her on heroic. So, yeah, we did it. What were we, like?
And it gave me a staff that is good because I hate knives, but it's bad because I don't really use the ability on it much. But you know what? That's okay. When I fall below 10% health, there's a big old AoE thing that hurts people and heals friends.
Can it heal you?
No.
Damn, that'd be great, because Cauterize, you know? Ah, damn it. Well, because Cauterize is at also 10%, right? Or is it? No, it's at 0%. Never mind.
It's at 0%, and then you have to get stacks, so it would help that first time I almost die, but not the second time.
Rats. Well, it's something, I guess.
Rats, where are the rats?
I think what felt the best about it was, like, we had just killed Ajara, and then the next reset was 8.2.5, and Matthias Shaw in the boat was like, hey, so we killed Ajara. Now here's what's next. I was like, hey, we just did that.
We were like, yeah, we have.
So, yeah, your boys, Phoenix Fusion, are 8 out of 8 normal, 8 out of 8 heroic, a little late.
We are officially ahead of the curve.
AOTC. AOTC.
AOTC. Oh, I thought we were chanting it for like a while. That's fine.
AOTC.
AOTC.
AOC. AOC.
AC.
A.
Also, guys, we didn't even talk about the reward you get from the end of the war campaign, because we're not done talking about this shit yet. There was more.
Oh, snap. It's coming back.
Okay.
It burst through the Titantron and said, you thought you were done.
Oh, yeah. It's coming back. Right after this, Time Warp. Okay. Time Warp. 40 seconds each. I almost said each. 40 seconds together to answer my trivia question and to name all these categories that you can. Aaron, are you ready?
Yes.
Immunization.
Just me?
Are you ready?
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
I want a nice, clean, fair fight. It's a celebrity deathmatch. This is going to be our most interesting and detailed one yet. I want you two to name for me the professions. Go!
Enchanting, herbalism,
tailoring,
leatherworking,
blacksmithing,
engineering,
herbalism,
mining, fishing, cooking,
skinning.
yeah, skin. That's one. I think. Is that all of them? Alchemy.
Enchanting. Inscription.
Oh fuck yeah, inscription. I think we're close to having named them all though, unless there's like weird ones that we haven't thought of.
First aid.
Oh fuck yeah. That's a retired one. Tailoring.
Is it? Is it retired?
Time! Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what happened? Hey, KK.
Stop.
Hey, guess what happened?
Actually, stop.
Hey,
Was that a tie?
Hey, no, guess what happened?
Did you not set a timer again?
I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna dump this time warp on these bitches' heads. They won't even see it coming. And I got so excited I didn't set a timer on my phone, so I had to look away and count in my head to 40 seconds. So don't worry, everybody.
Do we know the winner?
I'm pretty sure Aaron won that. He has some deep pulls there. Because I heard first aid and inscription at the end when the number counting got easier. So Immune made a big stink face just now.
Hello, my name is Father, yeah, like mother, but you don't get to go on fun adventures or dodge flames with me, just listen to my edits. Immunization actual 1 with an astronomical high 9 to Aaron's 5. Aaron lost and gloated like a fool and must now be punished by dodging more fire. You know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I came in real hot, I will say.
You did come in real hot.
You did. You had a bunch of early ones. It'll be an interesting post edit to see who wins.
Post edit.
Truly.
We should never post edit for professionalism. How dare you suggest that?
Yeah, listeners.
Ooh, and I'm the one editing this week, so I hope you guys like the Austin Powers MIDI.
I, Father, absolutely love Austin Powers MIDI. Gold member helped me get through a lot of tough times back in middle school. Smoke and a pancake, am I right, fellas?
It's back, baby. I mean, the DN Army knows we just post these things live. We don't edit anything.
Oh my god, that would be
We actually have a live recording session. If you tune in to our Twitch, you can see me sweating to the oldies because I didn't turn the AC on in this room.
You can see us sweating to the oldies because we purposely turn everything off to avoid any sound. Ugh.
So we don't have a Twitch, but maybe one day. I mean, I have a Twitch that I use one time.
I'm not jumping on the grenade for that one. I already made the live journal, which go check us out at Do Not Relent at Live Journal. Postings on Mondays.
All right, content, baby. Now next is our Angel Fire. That's gonna be lit.
I haven't thought about that in like 10 years.
We'll upload episodes right next to our fan arts of Super Saiyan 5 Goku.
And my sweet 3-pixel fire background. Okay, but hang on. Let's get back into the cinematic stuff, into the war campaign stuff. I'll take a drink because I fucked up, even though I've had 2 previous weeks of experience knowing to set a timer, and I didn't. So I'm gonna choke this.
I'm gonna take a drink
also,
too.
because we've almost been doing this for a year.
We're getting close, yeah. So thank you all for listening to us be drunk every week and talk about WoW.
Hold up. Before we go back into the war campaign, I have a small announcement to make. We really fucked up the Battle for Najatar last week. We thought it was gone.
Oh boy, did we.
We thought it didn't exist. I swear on my own life that the timer was 3, 6, 9, 12 every 3, 9, or every one of those hours. No. According to somebody in general chat, it was not 3, 6, 9, 12 server time and has never been. It is, in fact, 2, 5, 8, 11. So if you log in at any time during those time frames, PM or AM, apparently that's when it happens.
Wait, so to confirm, that is Proudmoore server times? So like
It's
West
just
Coast
server time. No, it's just server time. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. So like for us, it's Pacific 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m., 11 p.m., but it's server specific.
Yeah, because the guy who was telling us this was from server Eldrathral. In fact, it's man. His name was Manhole of Eldrathral.
Also, wait, excuse me, Eldrathral?
I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's a central server. So I knew that in fact that we were dealing with different server time zones. So Battle for Azeroth is on 2, 5, 8, 11. Log on during those times, and apparently that's when it's up. And I'm like, this guy's full of bullshit. It's always been 3, 6, 9, 12. And I log on at 2, and it was happening. So I'm a goddamn idiot. Thank you.
So
I have done it 3 times since just last week when we claimed it never happened.
So to clarify, what was this man's name that told you this?
His name was Manhole of Eldrathral. The server, and my handwriting really kind of trails off. But either way, it's a word I'm not familiar with.
I've never heard that server, but this man is just a hole, sir.
No. No.
I'm just a hole, sir.
Let's get back to the work campaign.
Oh, stinky.
Let's get out. No. Okay.
Okay, I'll bring us back to the war campaign. Before we move on within the war campaign, I just want to talk briefly about just a one-off like quest text that Anduin said about why Tyrande and Malfurion were not there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Which is interesting. He just said that they have not responded to his text messages. They have not responded to his Twitter DMs. They did not respond to his Instagram messages. He has liked every one of their photos, but no responses. And he said, I don't know, they must be consumed by all vengeance.
Champion, they've ghosted me, but not like a spooky afterlife Sylvanas. They just won't return my calls, champion.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I mean, like, it's understandable from their point because their entire world was burned to the ground by Sylvanas, so they probably want a little more vengeance. Yeah, that's fair.
I get it.
Now, do you think they'll be coming back for 8.3? A lot of people are being like, oh, they're going to cause a lot of trouble. They're going to start fighting the Alliance.
No,
Do you think there's any merit to that?
I think the next time they will make an appearance will be when... I'll just say when we fight Sylvanas. I think that they will be involved in the whole storyline of taking Sylvanas down personally.
I don't know. I kind of like that theory that they're gonna come back and be like, yo, fuck this truce. We're not fucking done fighting the Horde or even the Alliance. Think about how much they've lost to so much inaction of the Alliance and, obviously the action of the Horde. What if they do just come back, like, firing on both sides? Like, at this point, we're already
if I could take them down, if I could kill one of them, I'd be so happy.
Okay, I do not agree with this, but I will mention one. It may have been a shitpost, but I'll take it as a theory. I saw it on Reddit. It was funny, and I kind of could see it maybe happening. It'd be interesting. They had a theory where they thought that in like the future there would be an additional 2 new factions. Sylvanas' Death Squad, so all of her loyalists, and then you would have the Kaldoroi Vengeance, all of the Night Elves that want revenge against the people that burned their whole tree down and all of that. So like led by Malfurion and Tyrande, and then the combined rest of the Alliance and the Horde, known as the Super Friends.
The Super Friends!
Good old 3 faction split. That sounds good to me. Best way to do it.
It just seemed like an interesting thing to me.
It's just undead on the outside, Night Elves on one side, and then everybody else in the middle.
So, no, the thing is, like, I feel like there could be Sylvanas loyalists that aren't necessarily undead. They could just be parts of the Horde that followed their war chief blindly or, like, to a fault.
I guess that's true. But then, yeah, okay.
The good old Nazgrims of the world. Fuck you, Nazgrim.
Nazgrim, you piece of shit. That's the worst hill to die on. What's wrong with you?
I signed a contract.
Legal obligations. So right after the cinematic, what happens in the war campaign after the main cinematic? No, I'm sorry, after like the loyalist cinematic.
You go home, and Anduin's sad. Then you attend Sourfang's funeral.
Oh, right.
And then when you go home, that's when you start the bonus quests.
So for the Alliance, a bonus quest, or does the Horde get this too?
There's no way they could. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
I didn't think about this until now.
I guess we were in Orgrimmar, but I don't have reason to believe that they would come to Stormsong Valley and do shit there, because that's where it was, right? It was a Stormsong.
Yeah. So the like kind of in-game content we're talking about is Jaina says that she's going to be meeting up with her brother Derek and Kalia Menethil just to discuss the current happenings, and you go meet up with them in Stormsong Valley, and the three of them just like catch up, and it's a little weird. Like, as we referenced earlier in the podcast, they say like, "Oh, we heard the war is over," and then Jaina's like, "Yeah, the war is like pretty much over, I think, except like small pockets of fighting between the Horde and the Alliance still, which happens after war's end." And then I'm like, "Is she talking about us?"
Are you subtweeting me over there, Jaina? Why did you even invite me over here to hang out with your brother? You guys aren't including me in the conversation.
Oh yeah, because like I did think it was a little weird. Like they were just all talking to each other. I'm like, why am I here?
Then, not only that, but this is the first time we're seeing Kalia Menethal's new super undead model, super whatever she is, Lightforge undead model in the flesh.
This is also the first time isn't this the first time we're seeing Kalia Menethil at all? This is a form that was just vaguely described in Before the Storm.
You're right, it is.
Okay, so like I, as a priest, saw her in my order hall, but that was back when she was still like a human.
Correct. Okay, yeah, her human form did exist.
Right.
That's right. And so I'm there, and it's me and a Draenei Paladin, and in /say he says thick, and then I said thick, and then we looked at her and I was like, this model is very interesting. Like, for some reason they decided to give her the same colored clothes as her pasty white flesh, so it looks like I can't tell if like what's flesh color and what's pants / weird like double covered. Like what is she wearing?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely would have benefited this look to have pants that were like a grayish or like a lighter black or something different, just so that like you could tell it wasn't just her being like naked under there. But like in this new model, she does look hella thick. I will say that.
I'm just realizing now that, yeah, she has like boots, like ankle level boots, and then white pants. I just thought she had like boots that went all the way up, Henny.
Ooh, well, you know what? Maybe it's time to discuss why she's this week's sexiest NPC of the week.
I can tell you, the first thing that I saw when I saw Kalia was I said, "Ooh, girl, do those boots go all the way up, Henny?"
The first thing I said when I saw the new model for Kalia Menethil was I quickly did /s, and then I was like, thick, with like 5Ks. And no, 5Cs.
First thing I did was try to figure out what was flesh and what was cloth. I couldn't tell. And that's what turns me on, baby.
Also, let me just say, like, when she became this Lightforge, like, undead thing, did she also dye her hair pink?
It is like a rosé color.
She's had time to accessorize.
I mean, she definitely is hot looking, I'd say. Like, her face, that's such an interesting, like, detailed face. It almost doesn't look human in structure. Like, is that just me?
And it does look completely different than how she looked before. Yeah, she looks sexier than before. She got that whole, like, vampire type, like, hood thing going on. And I'm like, Kalia.
It is very vampire aesthetic, you're right. Hell yeah, bitch.
This girl's dipping into them San Lane robes. She went back to Wrath and got some off of like the first 6 bosses of ICC. Girl.
God, if only they gave her a different color pants. Why is it flesh colored? Even in these pictures, I'm like, is she wearing pants? Oh, I see the little buttons on them. She's wearing pants.
Yeah.
Looking at this render really also helps her sex appeal because, and this was a revelation made privately earlier, when I rolled up there, Jada and I must have teleported in real fast because her front part of her pants area was tucked into like her underwear or something. It looked like she was wearing a diaper, and I was like, really? You've had all this time to choose your style, and this is what you went with, girl?
I mean, I guess some people are into that.
Hey,
R.I.P. Pamper Chew.
Kalia,
YouTube,
maybe.
give him his channel back.
Now, that makes her probably an even sexier NPC. She was displaying her kinks for Aaron to see, right? Hell yeah, Kalia, you be you.
She looked at Growlina dead in the face and said, I'm into crinkling. You down to clown? And Growlina said, I don't know.
She considered it.
Also, where did we get this MySpace photo of her? It's very lovely.
I was thinking the same thing.
We
It's
have
such a
like
MySpace
her
picture.
Wowhead model, and then we have her like professional LinkedIn photo below it.
It does look like a profile picture on LinkedIn. We'll post this on our Instagram and Twitter. I mean, it is one of the first, like, when I Googled Kalia Menethil new model, it was, like, in the top Google results. I don't exactly know where or how it came from, but it's there, and it's looking hot. It's pretty sultry, honestly.
She's hot.
And yet she's cold, because she's a corpse.
Oh, well, Kalia Menethil, your award's in the mail, or maybe we'll just follow you after your little spiel with Derek Proudmore, where you talked for, what, like 2 seconds, and then walked away into the ether?
Yeah, I was about to say, can we talk about the fact that it's like, let's go, and like they're still in the world for a little bit, so I'm like, where are they going? And then they don't even go in a door, they just stop being.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah, let's go on a walk together and enjoy this new world without war. And then I'm like, okay, fine, we're going for a fucking walk. Like, make me hold down W while I listen to this story bit. And then, no, they just phase out. And I'm like, what?
So do you guys think we're going to be getting more war campaign stuff? Like, not like, it said 8.2.5 was the end of the war campaign. That doesn't mean that it has to end on reset. You know what I mean? They could still add in more like Kalia Menethil and Derek Prodmore tidbits, right? Because it ended so lame.
So I will say, they did straight up say that this was the end of the war campaign. But maybe that's just like a wording issue because, like, as we said, war's over, go home, turn off war mode, we're done. But the story goes on. So are they just going to call it like the campaign?
I guess that's true. I guess they could just continue to hang out without being part of the war campaign. It doesn't have to be included under that subtitle, which is the first time they've done something like that, right? I can't think of any other quests that are like the blank quests, you know? It seems very like specific to BFA.
Yeah, and I will say that during this little bit, when Derek was basically saying to Kalia, you know, there are other undead like me that could use your guidance. I think he was also a little bit implying that Sylvanas basically abandoned all of her undead and they would all need her guidance, which I think was soft implying and putting the idea in people's head that maybe Kalia would be the leader of the undead now that Sylvanas is gone. Do you guys think that that's what they meant by that?
I think that they are trying to set her up to be a leader, but it would almost have to be in a new neutral Forsaken or something like that. Because I don't see her heading over to Durotar and being like, yes, this is what I choose. Unless it's like, I have to be where the people are.
Yeah, like I wasn't talking like war chief level. I was talking more of along the line of like going to where Undercity was and like ruling over whatever undead would still follow her.
I guess, yeah, that does track that she would go home to her actual house.
Yeah, like she used to live there. And you want to know why? I also think that's a pretty good theory. She's not rotting flesh. If you're going to leave the undead, you have to have a nice full complexion and great skin. And she has all of that.
You gotta be hot.
You're not allowed to be one of the ugly ones like we have to be.
Yeah, if you show your bones, you're out.
you have to be hot, and DNR has already given her a Sexiest NPC of the Week award, so, like, her resume is already pretty stacked.
Get it, girl. Lead them undead. Civilize them bitches.
But I also have a little bit of a hard time seeing her as Horde. You know what I mean? That means that, like, we have to be enemies of her, and unless we are just ending the faction thing, like, altogether, and, like, Horde and Alliance are one, and we are the best friends faction, as previously stated.
Yeah, if they're going to go for this this bullshit, like Alliance and Horde are going to hold hands, whatever, then putting Kalia Manethil as leader of the undead is a good gesture towards that, because it's like, hey, look at this, it's a dead Alliance bitch, quote unquote Alliance, leading the Horde. Like, see, barriers are being broken. Anyone can be friends. I hate that. I hate it.
This is my brief, spicy take. I think N'Zoth's gonna fuck with her head.
Oh, tell me more. Tell me more, Daddy.
I don't know how, but and I know every Horde fan is like, people willingly choose it. But I feel like if it would make sense to me if N'Zoth or some force fucked with her head and she was like,
The Alliance has twisted us. They never believed in us.
and not become like a megala villain, but like believe that suddenly like the monsters are the good guys, the only good guys.
You could even say that, like, that voice in her head is the light, because there's a whole group of people out there that think the light is actually evil. So, like, she is made from light, so, like, maybe she has those same things. Because, like, remember that whole cutscene in Legion where, like, the light, like, that the big Naru on the spaceship is, like, trying to force Illidan to, like, turn to the light, and it's, like, really, like, rapey and, like, gross feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could easily manipulate someone's mind, like, with that. I mean, and she is... Think about how fresh of a person she is. She was dead for a little bit, right? And, like, resurrected. Like that mindscape when you're, like, undead to alive, it's easily manipulated. So, I like this theory a lot. I feel like the War campaign was a pretty good vehicle for delivering story until they reached the part where it required us to, like, beat N'Zoth and stuff. Because before this, the War campaign, like, what was the last piece we had before we had this one?
Was the last one before this when we saw Bane getting, like, abducted and all of us breaking him out?
Yeah, that was the last part of the War camp, the penultimate part.
That's such a large gap of a time period between the two. But it seems like maybe they shouldn't have called this part of the War camp. I don't know. I just feel like there wasn't enough before this, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, we're at peace now. Like if there was a smaller piece like in between the Bane one and this one, it would feel more coherent and it would flow better. But it flowed really weird to the end.
Yeah, I agree. It felt very choppy towards the end, but I think that that's just how things worked out, and they are ushering in a whole new portion of the storyline for 8.3 in order for it to go beyond that 9.0 and whatever they go out, like, further. And, like, ideally they would have spaced it out a little bit better maybe, but I still think overall the story that they portrayed was okay or good. I am okay with it. I feel like it was not straight up a copy of Mist, as some people are claiming it was. I think it's more than that.
For sure. Oh yeah, it's they led us to the gates of Orgrimmar and they were like, "Psych, bitches, you thought we were gonna do it, didn't you?"
We had the turret boss ready and everything.
Galakron was ready to fly around and get shot with your stupid crossbows.
So with that, I think we are ready to head on into our top toot, bottom boot, and medium moots of the week. Slide, what do you got this week?
I'm going to give my top toot to the reward we got from completing the War campaign.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that yet.
Oh snap!
We heard Cyrus brag to us, "You would have been great in the Third War. I'm a veteran of the Third War, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, God, can I get a title to shut this fucking guy up? And then they award us with the title Veteran of the Fourth War, which is actually a pretty sick title. I put on immediately. I thought it was cool. And then I was like, is this really a fourth war? Like, did we do a lot? And then when I look back on it, we did a fuck ton.
For what it lacks in time frame, because I feel like the entirety of BFA is like 2 months, it makes up for in sheer, like, we committed genocide like 3 times.
Yeah, when I got this achievement, I was like, what? I was like, wait, what we were in was considered the fourth war? But then, like, I think back and I'm like, yeah, Teldrassil was burned down. Then we had a whole war over in Zuldazar, and basically
The
all of, the
Undercity,
Undercity's
that was
gone.
the thing?
Like, so, like, there was a lot of destruction, and it was a pretty big war, but, like, for some reason in my mind before then, I never considered it the fourth war.
But yeah, that was my top 2. So I'm Aaron, what about you? What's your top 2? Medium, mute, bottom, boo.
My top 2 is Growlina's face. I am so happy that went through, and my girl is looking good and animating well. You know what? It wasn't until I took those 2 photos side by side for the Twitter that I realized how literally that model was a decade old, and I am so happy that they have gone and fixed it.
Ow!
Ow! So, Immune, what is your TTBBMM?
I think I have to say that my top toot of the week is just overall the quality of the cinematics that they gave us, and I just thought that they looked so beautiful. And, like, I feel like I say this every time that I see a cinematic, and I mean, like, the main one, like the Makara one, like the ones that are not like in-game cinematics, but, like, it's just breathtaking to see. So, like, even if the story isn't 100% what everyone wanted, but, like, there's nothing, you can't please everyone anyways, so whatever. I feel like the vehicle that they used to move it forward in the cinematic was top-notch.
I wholeheartedly agree. This is also
Hell
a brief
yeah.
aside. In the one where Anduin is talking to Sourfang, and it's like in good in-game graphics, Sourfang looks over his people, and I looked at a Tauren, and it was definitely just the in-game idle animation. I saw him shift his shoulders and like wiggle his snoot, and I was like, oh no, that's the idol. They literally just put character models out there.
Can we talk about how hard it was to look at Sarfang's face in the in-game cinematic and not the main one, when it was like zoomed on his face as he talked? Because we have seen his face so many times, like in zoom ups and like the actor cinematics, that when you see it using the in-game, it just looks really dated. I was like, oh man, he looks really like from 2008.
Yeah, but that's not what this top two's about. I just want to say that the main cinematics were really well done. And
I liked them
Yeah.
all, even the poopy in-game funeral one.
that's true. I also appreciate them for what they were, even though they need to work on their lip syncing a lot.
Just watch some RuPaul and catch up, baby.
And Thrall's 2 slams to his chest where it was like, action, action. And I'm like, that's definitely when he did it.
All right, well, I think we're about done here. We've exhausted a lot of talking points. Wow, that was, I feel like it wasn't that long of a talk, but right, well, like an hour and some change right now. Look at us go.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about. I think we covered most of it. If not, we can catch up next week.
All right, well, if you guys have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, you want to send us some fun stuff. If you want to do any Mythic Plus, hey, let us know. We're here to do Mythic Pluses. We need, like, a tank, so if you want a tank for us all the time, that'd be sick. You can email us at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at donotrelenttpod. And I guess because you have an Instagram, and Aaron can do the live journal. Look at that. What about you guys? Where do we find you guys on the internet?
Yeah, you can follow me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at NewEraAlex. And also, I would like to note that you can follow us on Instagram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter. And if you really, really want to read my musings, our live journal is donotRelent.com. www.livejournal.com. The first post coming this Monday, it's admittedly not that funny. It's actually just kind of serious.
That's not how you want to start it off with. You want to give it some pizzazz, oomph it. It's gonna be the best live journal post you've ever seen on a Monday, bitches.
I mean, like,
it's all about growing up playing World of Warcraft in a time when it was long considered dead.
yeah, that's what this podcast is, I guess.
I wanted to see what you would do if I didn't say anything.
Well, that's it for us this week.
That's it for us this week.
That's it for us
this week.
Well,
We'll see you
that's
guys
it
next
for us
week.
this week.
We'll see
Catch
you.
you guys
We'll
next
see
week.
you guys
And
next
remember-
week.
Don't forget.
And remember,
You done talking now?
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.